You're like me.
Carbon scoring here. Looks like you boys have seen a lot of action.
Spider-Man is the only superhero with two equally recognizable costumes. Okay, that's a solid counter-argument. But even with two great looks, Spidey's been known to sport other alternate suits, and we're going to go through the best of these today. Couple of ground rules. First, we love our Spider ladies, but we're leaving them out. Also, we're sticking with comic canon, so no animated or movie figures. Same for video game figures, we're just sticking to comics. And hey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It's how we can keep giving you the best combination of action figures and comic history. Let's go. Number 10, Cyborg Spider-Man. Eric Larsen's 1992 run on Spider-Man featured the return of the Sinister Six, who proceeded to beat Spidey to a pulp and break his left arm. But a mysterious benefactor repaired Spidey with cybernetic parts, allowing him to defeat the Sinister Six with the help of Deathlock. Toy Biz made this suit in their 5-inch line, but Hasbro's 2020 edition perfectly captures Larsen's hyper-detailed art, right down to the individual stitches. Plus, it lets us make a perfect replication of the classic cover of issue 21. Number 9, the Iron Spider suit. The Iron Spider suit was a gift from Tony Stark. At this point in Spidey's history, he was a member of the Avengers, the other heroes knew his secret identity, and even Mary Jane and Aunt May were living in Stark Tower. Tony was molding Pete as his protege, and the suit was a strong symbol of this. This storyline led directly into the Civil War, where heroes were required to register with the government. Initially, Peter went along with Iron Man, but he switched to Captain America's side midway through the conflict, turning the tide of the Civil War. The suit was destroyed, along with Tony and Peter's relationship. Number 8, House of M Spider-Man. During the House of M storyline, mutants ruled the world, thanks to the Scarlet Witch altering reality. For Peter Parker, this meant all of his dreams came true. He was a world-famous actor, hero, and businessman, married to the love of his life, Gwen Stacy, with his Uncle Ben by his side. But he was having nightmares of the previous universe, and when the Green Goblin exposed him as not being a mutant in this mutant-dominated world, everything fell apart. This figure was released by Hasbro in 2018, and features the distinctive torso design Spidey wore during the series. The changes artist Salvador LaRocca made to Spidey's costume were subtle, but very distinctive from this unusual chapter in the web-slinger's history. Number 7, Steel Armor Spidey. Web of Spider-Man began in 1985 with great promise as the third ongoing Spidey title. But by 93, it was clearly the third best book, and was looking for something to boost sales. So with the 100th issue, they brought out the Steel Spider suit. This hunk of junk was first produced in the 5-inch line in 94, but this 6-inch version came out 10 years later. It's pretty accurate to the comic styling, meaning it is clunky and awkward. As we become more and more comfortable with Spider-Man in an armored suit, I think it's only fair that we pay our respects to where it all started. Hey, even Iron Man started out in a silver tin can. Number 6, the Superior Spider-Man. I've said it before in my Spidey shelf display video. The idea of Otto Octavius, the villainous Dr. Octopus, and Peter Parker switching bodies should have resulted in one of the dumbest comic stories of all time. But Doc Ock proved himself to be the superior Spider-Man, going so far as to create a new suit of armor for Spidey, which Hasbro replicated perfectly, even down to the mismatched web lines on his mask. I initially thought this was an error, but in going back through the books, this is how it was drawn. See? Crazy, right? For something that seemed like a couple of issue joke, Dan Slott created a multi-year masterpiece of Spidey storytelling, and completely reinvigorated Octavius in the process. Number 5, the Scarlet Spider. Alright, hang on. The Jackal created a clone of Peter Parker, and the two Peters fought in Amazing Spider-Man 149 in 1975. Our Spidey won, and the clone was disposed of. We thought. Fast forward to Web of Spider-Man 118 in 1994, and the clone was back, calling himself Ben Reilly, and claiming to be the original true Spider-Man. Whew! The Clone Saga ran through the Spidey books for over 2 years, from 1994 to 96, and while it did boost sales, it mainly created controversy and discord amongst the fan base. But there's no denying Hasbro's 2015 figure captures all the coolest parts of this costume's design, from the sleeveless hoodie to the wrist and ankle bracelets. If the 90s were a superhero costume, it would look like this. Number 4. Spider-Punk. Bursting out of Dan Slott's Spider-Verse storyline, Hobie Brown was a homeless teenager transformed after being bitten by a spider irradiated with toxic waste. With his punk rock attitude, he led the downtrodden in a revolt against Norman Osborn. This figure delivers on the punk vibe, with the shredded jacket decorated with buttons, the high tops, and of course that spiked mohawk. For me, it's the cool little details, like modifying the typical web shooting hand into a rocking punk symbol, or shredding that guitar with a pick in hand. It's like Sid Vicious with superpowers. Number 3 is Captain Universe Spidey. Stop me if you've heard this one before. After a science experiment gone wrong, Peter Parker gains the proportionate speed and strength of the universe? Yep, that's what happened when Spidey gained the Enigma Force, a uni-power bestowed on someone during times of great danger, allowing them to become Captain Universe. So what did Spidey do with all this power? Well, he punched the Hulk into space, of course. But when the Tri-Sentinel appeared, he quickly sacrificed his new powers to defeat this threat to the universe. I love the metallic blue with the white speckles. It harkens back to the original Captain Universe design, by none other than Spidey's co-creator, Steve Ditko. Number 2 is Spidey 2099. Okay, so this time, after a science experiment gone wrong, Miguel O'Hara gained the proportionate speed and strength of... oh, never mind. Peter David and Rick Leonardi's 1992 addition to the Spider-Man mythos took place in the now not-so-distant future of 2099. Hasbro's 2015 figure crushed it with metallic paint and tight details on the mask. Special hands represent the claw fingers Miggy sported in the book, and his web cape was perfectly done. I'm always going to be partial to this figure, as my very first letter was printed in issue 8. And finally in the top spot, Spider-Ham.
Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is a spider.
Oh, Homer, you were so close, but it's Spider-Ham. First appearing in 1983's Marvel Tales, see what they did there? Peter Porker was the star of an entire universe of anthropomorphic, funny animal parodies. After a 3-year run in Marvel's kids line, Star Comics, he continued to pop up in backup stories and specials over the years. Then he popped up in a 2010 video game. Then in various multiverse stories. Now he's a major movie star and totally insufferable. Fun fact, old Porker here was actually born a spider and then bitten by a radioactive pig. Bet you didn't know that. But however you slice this ham, he has become a major star in the Spidey universe, on page and on film. And as somebody who loved those old Spider-Ham books growing up, I couldn't be more excited. So how'd we do? Did we leave out your favorite alternate Spidey? If so, tell us in the comments, and check out some of our other videos. And as always, subscribe to Carbon Scoring for more comic and figure fun.